Well, I want to talk about type 2 diabetes today. Makes up 98% of the diabetic population. It's a simple nutritional deficiency disease. It's not genetic in any way, shape, or form, although medical doctors will tell you that it is genetic. There's not much you can do but manage it. That's an absolute bald-faced lie. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that they're ignorant. Because if they know what I'm about to tell you, and they continue to tell you that it's a genetic disease, they should be put in jail for, yes, you got it, insurance fraud. Because they're billing your insurance company for something that is preventable and reversible. People say to me, I've got everybody in my family's got type 2 diabetes. Well, it's not genetic. It's a simple nutritional deficiency. And by proper supplementation, I can legally say you can support and promote maintenance and repair of the metabolism of your carbohydrates and fats and sugar at the cellular level. You can support and promote healthy blood sugar levels. Right? Now, elevated blood sugar is not diabetes. It's a symptom of diabetes. And so you can do a pretty good job of managing your blood sugar and keeping it down, below 100 with medications. But you're still going to go blind. You'll still get your feet and legs amputated. You'll still die 10, 15, 20 years early because diabetes is a much deeper problem that has other, manifestations. So it's a simple nutritional deficiency disease, and I never like to cherry pick nutrients because they all are sort of intermeshed like a spider web. Out there in the morning, you see the dew on the spider web. You pull one strand of the spider web, and the dew falls off of all the strands of the spider web. It's a very simple disease, and of course, I do like people to dampen down their inflammatory foods. You got to stay away from fried foods. Got to stay away from processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. Got to stay away from oils. That means margarines, mayonnaise, salad dressings, cooking oils. I don't care if it's extra, virgin olive oil or coconut oil. You got to stay away from it because it inflames the cell surfaces, and the cells lose their ability to recognize the language or the communication from insulin. That's part of the problem when you have type 2 diabetes. You got to help support a recommunication between the cell walls and the insulin. People with type 2 diabetes oftentimes will make as much as 10 times more insulin than a non-diabetic. So it's not a lack of insulin. It's a lack of communication between the insulin they make and the cell walls. So we got to eliminate that inflammation that causes damage to the cell walls. Then, of course, there's a certain percentage of people who will also have gluten intolerance. So according to Mayo Clinic, something like 30% of Americans, one-third of Americans, 115 million Americans are gluten intolerant. So let's say in your area where you live, there's very little of these minerals that are necessary to prevent and promote healthy blood sugar levels and promote healthy metabolism of carbohydrates and fats and sugars at the cellular level. Let's say you only have 10% of the minimum daily requirement of these minerals and other nutrients in the soil in your area. Without supplementation, you're not going to get up to 100%. So let's say you get 10, 15, 20%, and not enough for you just to die suddenly, but because these nutrients are also necessary for healthy heart function. But let's say then you don't supplement. Well, you're only going to get 10% of these nutrients you need to, again, support healthy blood sugar levels, to support healthy metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and sugars at the cellular level. So let's say you supplement. You're guaranteeing you're going to get these things that you need in optimal amounts, like we do in dog food. I mean, why don't you at least supplement your diet to the point where we've done dogs? We've eliminated type 2 diabetes in livestock and laboratory animals and pet animals with nutrition. And this is not a new thing. Okay, this has been around a long time, and we're talking 56 years. We've known this for 56 years, that type 2 diabetes is totally preventable and totally reversible through dietary change and nutritional supplementation. So I urge you to get a hold of that book, Hell's Kitchen, and the book Hell's Kitchen will cover what to do about it once you're diagnosed with it, or be like me, and guess what? I don't have any blood sugar problems. I don't have any diabetes. I don't have obesity problems. I don't have high blood pressure problems. I don't have any problems. And I've been taking the 90 essential nutrients twice a day since I was 9 years old. Certainly not in the form as we have it now, but it was the 90 essential nutrients back in the day, 65 years ago. And if everybody in America were like me, and take the 90 Essential Nutrients, the Longevity program, if everybody were to take the 90 for Life program, the medical system would be very humble. Okay, because I've done a few autopsies on medical doctors, but I haven't visited one with me being the patient. And so, what can I say? I urge you, again, to contact your Longevity associate and say, okay, I need that healthy blood sugar pack. I weigh 200 pounds, so I need 2 of those per month. I'm going to adjust my diet, like Dr. Wallach said. I will take my fasting blood sugar before I medicate myself every morning so I don't throw myself into insulin shock, because Dr. Wallach assures me that my blood sugar will drop, my A1C hemoglobin will drop and come under control, and that if I do have some complications such as lack of circulation, gangrenous toes and feet and that sort of thing, he may even be able to help me there. And so I'm going to get going here, but I need, since I weigh 185 pounds, I need to take enough of the healthy blood sugar packs for a 200-pound person. I'm going to take 2 of those per month, clean up my diet, and I'm going to monitor my fasting blood sugar every morning before I medicate myself. And I'm going to call Dr. Wallach every 2 weeks, and I'm going to tell him either a progress report or a lack of progress report. And we'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way after these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, I want to start out with one of these kind of medical advisories or warnings, so to speak, as there is currently over 6,000 federal lawsuits against the manufacturers of these pelvic or surgical meshes that they're putting into women because they've had pelvic organ prolapse, and they outlined the specific cases of a couple of these women. And I found it interesting. The manufacturers, of course, are saying, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with our product. And some doctors are even going, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the product. It's actually bad surgeons putting this stuff in. So everybody's suing these manufacturers and the doctors. And I kind of wondered why they're not suing the FDA. They approved this device. Nothing gets on the market in this country without the FDA approving it. So, and as you were talking with me before the show, there are non-invasive, non-surgical ways to deal with that problem. So if your doctor is suggesting that, tell him no and hire a new doctor.
Exactly. Call me and Doug here, just briefly in 2 sentences. What I want you to do, ladies, if you have pelvic organ prolapse, uterus and bladder and that sort of thing, what I want you to do is put a 1x2 underneath the feet of your bed so that your feet are about 1 inch higher than your bed, so 6 to 8 hours a day. Gravity is working in your favor, pulling everything back up into your pelvic and abdominal cavities. Secondly, I want you to take the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, because the things that actually will help you rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue and ligaments and tendons, that's what holds your bladder and uterus in place. So once you get the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack to give your body what it needs to support and promote maintenance repairs of those tissues, and then for temporary relief, they actually have, you can get it without a prescription in a pharmacy, a device called a pituary. It's actually a rubber device. It's a ring with 2 fingers on it that hold everything in place. It's that simple. It's easily cleaned. You can get 2 of them, and you just put at night you put in a new one, clean the one you've been wearing during the day. It's just very simple. No surgery needed. 1-800-BAD-MESH. Okay, go on, Doug.
Okay, got another story here from Reuters news agency that headlines, high glycemic foods tied to diabetes risk. I'm thinking, they're just now figuring that one out. They said people who eat a lot of low-fiber processed foods that quickly spike blood sugar have a significantly higher risk to form type 2 diabetes. How they came about this was went back and analyzed 24 studies that were published since 1997 and tracked 125,000 adults. And they said that these high glycemic foods are, things like white bread, like you always say, the whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead, and potatoes. And this was published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. And they found that after looking at this 125,000 people, they said adults daily average ate 139 grams of sugar, and they go on to say that those who ate for every additional 100 grams of sugar per 2,000 daily calories, people had a 45% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And according to the CDC, 8% of Americans have type 2 diabetes, or actually have diabetes, and 90% of those are type 2 diabetes, which is preventable and reversible.
Well, you're exactly right. Type 2 diabetes is preventable and reversible. Exactly right. We've known that since 1957. I'm sure that people knew it long before that, but that's when the article that is actually perfect came out, And I'm so excited that now they're beginning, more and more people are saying this. I can take a city and make it diabetes-free in just a couple of weeks. Diabetes is easy, 2 to 14 days. I've had challenges from people that own medical laboratories in Iowa on the bed. Thank you, Doug. Super job. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's go to Toronto, Canada. And Mackenzie, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, hello, Mackenzie. You're on the air.
Hi. I have a lady in her late 30s with really bad rheumatoid arthritis that seems more like lupus. Her knee is really swollen with water all around it, and it's sensitive to touch. Her physio is saying that she will need knee replacement soon, and she's currently taking leflunomide, methotrexate, and some other ones.
Okay, there's gold shots and methotrexate, and there's a whole bunch of them, all kinds of steroids and so forth. They can give relief, but not perfectly, she's finding out, but certainly they don't fix anything. So how much does she weigh?
She's approximately 190 pounds.
And how tall is she?
I'm not sure, actually.
Have you met her?
No.
Okay, so you don't know if she's shorter than you. Okay, well, let's say the average size woman, 5'6" to 5'8", kind of thing, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so what you need to do is realize that rheumatoid arthritis is actually an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. It has interesting features in that it has features of a virus, and it uses your DNA and RNA, lives in your cells. But it has features of a bacteria, too, that is killable by an antibiotic. There's a specific antibiotic called minocycline, like the little bait fish, minocycline, that kills this bug, and the bug is called mycoplasma again, and causes rheumatoid arthritis. Now, 95% of people with rheumatoid arthritis also have osteoarthritis, degenerative arthritis, bone-to-bone arthritis, osteoporosis, osteopenia, and so you have to treat for both the bone-to-bone arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis infection. So I don't like antibiotics, and so I only go to the minocycline antibiotic, which is a member of the tetracycline family of antibiotics. I give it 3 months using herbs because what I want to do is have her stay away from all inflammatory things. It means no fried foods whatsoever, no exceptions, no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites, and that includes Canadian bacon, right? No nitrates and nitrites, no Timmy Hortons here. And then she needs absolutely no oils. It means no margarines, mayonnaise, salad dressings, cooking oils. And I would also keep her away from canned fish that are packed in oil. She can have canned fish like sardines and tuna and salmon, but they have to be packed in water, mustard, tomato sauce. Then I would also keep her away from gluten. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. Those things all cause inflammation. Got to get rid of them. And then I'd have her take 2 Healthy Start packs per month. That'll allow her to have 1 ounce of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Plus as a breakfast and dinner, and all that will be accomplished by the 2 Healthy Start packs per month. Then I'd like her to get an extra quart of the Osteo so she can take a 1/3 ounce of Osteo at bedtime with a glass of water. I want her to have 2 large bottles, 2 240-count bottles of the Glucogel per month so she can take 15 of those a day, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner. And to kill the bugs, if possible, if they're killable, with herbs, use the Killer Biotic 3 times a day. That's 3 bottles a month. Call me every 2 weeks if you would, Mackenzie. Let me know how this lady's doing. We'll help her with a weight challenge, too. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's go to San Jose, California. And Rachel, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Rachel, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, I called about a month and a half ago because I have chronic Lyme disease with co-infections that I've had for about 3 years. And you told me, I didn't get a chance to say, but I haven't eaten gluten for about 10 months, and you just said that I was gluten intolerant. So I was wondering if you could maybe suggest something more specific for my case. I have done the starter pack and the Glucogel and selenium.
Okay, what do you weigh?
120.
Okay, yeah. And so, first of all, I want you to get a hold of that book, Hell's Kitchen. I want you to get a hold of the CD called Serial Killers. Listen to that CD because it tells you all the places that gluten are hidden. everything from dog food, tomato soup, gravy. It's in now. You have to read labels on yogurt and ice cream, for goodness sakes, because they're processing these foods. Places you think, well, I'm eating dairy, it's safe, it doesn't have gluten in it. Well, not necessarily. Okay, even packaged nuts, so they process them and package them on machinery that also packages pretzels and trail mix that have gluten in it. So you got to watch it. You think you're gluten free, but you're giving your dog dry dog food, you got gluten, right? Then everybody in the household's got to be gluten-free. There can't be other people in the house eating gluten and washing your clothes together, et cetera, sitting on the couch, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. For 120 pounds, I'd have you take one Healthy Start pack per month, divide it in half a dose of each of the three products at breakfast, half a dose at dinner. That's a tablespoon of the OsteoX Plus at breakfast and dinner, one scoop of the Beyond Tangerine at breakfast and dinner. The 3 EFA pluses designated per day, I'd have you take one at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All that will be accomplished by the one Healthy Start pack per month. I'd have you take 3 of our D-Stress capsules twice a day. That's capital D like David - Stress. 3 of those at breakfast, 3 at dinner. That's 2 bottles a month. I'd have you take the selenium, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And I would also have you get your ORIC points, your antioxidant points, your anti-inflammatory points above 100,000 per day. You could do that with our Triple Treat chocolate 2-3 times a day for a total of 6. Or you could do it with our Cell Shield RTQ, which particularly highlights resveratrol, turmeric, and quercetin. Now, somebody your size, I would have you take 3 of those twice a day. Personally, I'd take 5 twice a day because I'm a little bigger. I'm 162. And you'll be amazed. Now, if you have joint pain, definitely you want to use our CM cream topically. It's made actually from omega-3 essential fatty acids. We take the analgesic and anti-inflammatory portion of it and concentrate it, and you can apply that topically to the joints, and within 2 to 5 minutes you're going to get a major improvement in range of motion. Certainly pain goes away significantly or totally for 3 to 5 hours. So you can use it 3 or 4 times a day and have a pain-free day, itching-free. But make a list of all your little subtle symptoms and call me every 2 weeks. Don't wait 3 months. Call me every 2 weeks. We'll walk you through this, Rachel. We'll be back after these messages.
Well, let's head back to Toronto, Canada. And Dean, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Dean, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Hi. Good. I have osteoarthritis in my left hip, and I was recently went to an orthopedic surgeon. I'm 46 years old, and he said I need a hip replacement surgery.
Okay, you're 26, you say?
So 46.
Oh, 46, okay. All right. Well, that's not true. You don't need a hip replacement. He says you have simple hip arthritis. You don't have vascular necrosis or anything like that?
No.
Okay, good. All right. How much do you weigh, sir?
I'm 6'1", and I weigh 230 pounds.
Okay. All right. You ready? Got your pen?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, yeah. We got to get rid of all the inflammatory stuff. Absolutely no fried foods, no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. That includes Canadian bacon. You got to stay away from oils, margarine, salad dressings, cooking oils, canned fish. Got to be packed in water, mustard, tomato sauce, not oils. Do you have any skin problems like eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
No.
Okay. Do you have any history of respiratory problems as a kid? Asthma, bronchitis?
I have a little bit of asthma right now, too.
Okay. Did you have that as a kid?
No, never had it as a kid.
Okay, but this has been coming on you lately?
It's been coming on the last few years. I have a couple cats, and I found I'm allergic to cats.
Sure. Okay, do you have any history of constipation where you needed laxatives or fiber to have regular bowel movements, or the other way, diarrhea, anything like that?
Never.
Okay, did you have your appendix out as a kid?
No.
Okay. Well, the fact that you have some asthma tells me that you might have, if you haven't, I think you probably had it for the rest of your life or your early life, but it's been a gradual thing. This is a progressive thing. Do you have any sisters or brothers?
Yes, I have one sister.
Okay. Does she have any asthma or anything?
Yes, she's had asthma as a kid.
Okay, yeah. Well, you've got a gluten intolerance. She's got a gluten. So you need to pass this information on to her. She needs to stay away from gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, or oats, and her asthma will go away. Your asthma will go away, and you'll absorb more nutrients. Part of the problem when you have a gluten intolerance, it negatively impacts your intestines. It reduces the efficiency of absorption. So as soon as you get off of gluten, that includes getting the dog food out, dry dog food out of the house. They can have canned food. There are certain dry dog foods that are, labeled gluten-free purposely. And so if you're going to feed them dry dog food, it's got to be expressly said gluten-free on the label. But definitely you have to really pay attention. So I'd have you get a hold of my CD called Cereal Killers. It goes into all the hidden places you find things like gluten, wheat, barley, rye, and oats, including beer. If you're going to drink beer, it's got to be Red Bridge from Anheuser-Busch or some of the rice beers, Oriental rice beers and stuff. You can't, you just got to watch it. There's gluten's in everything. Then I want you to 230 pounds and have you take 2 Healthy Start packs per month. That's 1 ounce of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine Nutri-Crystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner. All that will be accomplished by the 2 Healthy Start packs per month. That's going to give you a platform of all the known essential nutrients necessary for your body weight. Now, to put on the proper add-ons to deal with osteoporosis of the hip and osteoarthritis of the hip, I'd have you get an extra quart of the Osteo FX Plus. You can take a 1/3 ounce at bedtime with a glass of water. Then I'd have you get 2 of the large 240-count bottles of Glucogel, because I want you to take 15 Glucogel capsules a day, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner, and they're designed to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone matrix, and bone itself. And then I would also have you do one more thing, get some of our CM cream, apply it topically to your hip or fingers or knees or any other joint you have, and cancel the appointment or don't make appointments for joint replacement surgery. Give us 60, 90 days, and you'll see major improvement. Certainly within 4 to 6 months, we have the capacity, I can legally say, support and promote maintenance repair of the cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone matrix, bone itself, and you won't need the surgery. Don't get the surgery. They rarely turn out well. Just taking your hip and throw it in the garbage can, put an artificial hip in, doesn't stop the progression of the osteoarthritis. You have 71 other joints in the body, and they all have it. You're just noticing it in one more than others. Call me every couple of weeks, give me a progress report. And I do get to Toronto a couple of times a year, so watch for us. We'll be back, to Toronto soon. Actually coming up, I think, in a couple of months. All right, Doug, let's go to callers.
Well, let's head to Maryland. And Darlene, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Darlene, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Thank you. I had talked to you about 2 weeks ago because I was having problems with MS and the stuff to be eating, which, thank you, I don't eat nothing with gluten, don't eat nothing fried, don't eat nothing with oil. But the neurologist was like, oh, you can eat gluten. I was like, I don't think so. Which I was wondering, ACTH, I was taking that. I was wondering about peanuts. Can I eat, it was like a peanut granola bar. Is it okay to eat that?
I'd have to read the labels, but usually not. Whenever you have a granola bar, it's got gluten in it.
Oh, because this one had gluten-free.
Oh, it has gluten-free. Okay. Well, you got to watch it. Even if they say gluten-free, you got to watch it. If they have oatmeal in it or oats, you can't have it.
Okay, no, that didn't, because I was looking at it. It was like, peanut butter, chocolate, gluten-free, granola bar.
Yeah, well, if they say gluten-free, you just have to look a little deeper and see if they have oats in it. And also, did they make it with peanut oil, canola oil, palm heart oil?
No, it didn't have that in it.
Okay, good. Well, then it's probably okay. But again, I'd have to read the label, but scrutinize the label very hard. And you can call me another day with the label and read the label to me, okay?
Okay, but then I had another question then, because, with this steroid, Actar, ACTH, she was saying, it's taking all the sugar out your body, and you're going to need some more sugar. Or I said, well, you said I can't take minerals because I couldn't take my vitamins I wanted to take. And she said, well, why you act like you couldn't eat the cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory? I say, gluten. I say, I don't eat gluten. And then, I guess she was like, you can eat a little bit of, I was like, no, I can't.
Good for you. Good for you. Stand up to her. And, of course, when it's probably a little early, but you should be pretty soon beginning to see some benefit in energy and sleeping better. Have you noticed any benefit in the symptoms of your MS?
Yes, because what happened was, I'm glad I did do the gluten, because the medicine I had to wait for, the Actar, which I didn't know was that expensive, it took like over 2 weeks to get the approval. So since I was eating gluten, I was getting better, really.
Since you got off of gluten, you're getting better.
No gluten since I got off the gluten. I meant to say I was getting better.
And it was just in 2 weeks.
And I was like, and that's just 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, I said, I'm kind of liking it. So now I'm not going to eat nothing with gluten. I'm not even going to eat nothing fried no more. I don't even eat fried food. So thank you. I just wanted to let you know, thank you for that information.
We appreciate that. And I really look forward to seeing you next time I'm up in Maryland. I get there 4 or 5 times a year. So run up and say hi to me, will you?
Oh, believe me, I will be there.
We're going to have you be our poster girl. We'll have you give a testimony, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Darlene. God bless you. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful news. We'll be back after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Online, the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Longevity and the 90 for Life Crusade. And, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Salinas, California. And Gina, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Gina, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, how can I help you?
I want to know what's going on with my family. We have this chronic fatigue. There's 4 girls. We're all adults now, and been going through, it didn't hit me for maybe the past 10 years, but it's a really bad fatigue that's actually stopping us from, working full-time.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's blood sugar issues, and I want to find out what's wrong.
Well, let me ask you some questions. Do any of you have any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or rosacea?
No.
Okay. Did anybody have any dry skin?
Extremely dry skin and lips and hair.
Okay. Does anybody have any history of asthma, chronic bronchitis?
Yes. Yes.
All of you? One of you? 3 of you?
2 out of the 4.
Okay. What about constipation where you need laxatives or fiber to have regular bowel movements, or the other way, diarrhea?
No, regular.
Okay. Did anybody ever complain about belly pain or have their appendix out?
No.
Anybody diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, diverticulitis?
My sister's daughter has.
Okay, good. Yeah, you all have a gluten intolerance as your problem. Your mama gave it to you. It's not genetic, but you will pass it on through the cord blood or breast milk to your children. So the quicker you get your kids off of it, if your daughters have not had children yet, if you get them on a gluten-free diet, by the time they have their own families, they will not pass it on. But if they do not get off of gluten, they will pass it on to their children. Okay? And so everybody needs to get on a gluten-free diet. And how much do you weigh, Gina?
Too much, 170.
Okay, and how tall are you, dear?
63 inches.
Okay, so that's 5'3", okay. All right, yeah. And so I'd like to see you lose, 35, 40 pounds. You can do that very quickly. So no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, or oats. So once you get a hold of the CD, you wouldn't hurt to get one for each of your sisters and all of your grandkids, called Serial Killers. Get a hold of that book, Hell's Kitchen. Kitchen can be a place of hell or heaven, depending on what you're cooking there. You need to be an expert on gluten from now on. No dry dog food in the house unless it says gluten-free on it in bold letters. You can have canned dog food and cat food, but not dry one unless it says gluten-free on it. Then no fried foods, no oils, no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. And then at 170 pounds, I'd have you take 2 healthy start packs per month, 1 ounce of the Osfex Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Ontane Tangerine NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Plus as a breakfast and dinner. All will be accomplished by 2 healthy start packs per month. Take the De-Stress capsules 3 twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. Use our Rebound as an energy drink, and it comes in either liquid concentrate or powder concentrate. And with the dietary change specifically, I mean, really, absolutely no gluten, wheat, barley, rye, oats. Every store has a gluten-free aisle in it. You're not alone. 1/3 of Americans, according to Mayo Clinic, 1/3 of Americans, as 115 million Americans are gluten intolerant. There's a cover story in the New York Times Magazine that showed a guy in a hazmat suit holding a giant slice of wheat bread. And so this is a big problem. It's getting bigger in the United States. And you and your sisters have been suffering from it. And all of your doctors, all the internists and your OBGYNs and all the guys you go to on a regular basis whom you pay for their advice, you should fire them because you've had this from the time you were born. Pediatricians should have picked this up. And shame on them for not helping you ladies. Believe me, I want you to call me every 2 weeks. Let me know how you're doing, because I want you and your 3 sisters to be my poster. You're going to be like the Andrews sisters of gluten intolerance. I want you to be my poster girls, And you're going to have some great stories to tell after you get gluten-free, clean up your diets, get on the supplement program, and call me every 2 weeks and give me a report. Well, thank you, everybody. Really great testimonies today. Great questions. Thank you so much, Doug and Susan. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.